Redhill Elementary Orchestra. Well, because of the recent campus closures, we are going to be continuing our orchestra classes online. I'm going to be sending a series of videos, instructional videos, so you can play along with these videos. And I will be going over a few fundamentals before we jump into our recital songs. But first of all, we're going to talk about tuning. This is something that I was going to cover in these new next classes, but unfortunately it has to be through a video. So we're going to talk about tuning. You guys know that I have been tuning your instruments every time you come into the class, but now we rely on you to be able to tune your own instruments so that when you're practicing at home, everything is very clean, and then you won't have any intonation problems when you're playing your songs. So what I have here is a viola, and just like your own instruments, I have taped this with the first, second, third, and fourth fingers, so that once I start playing, you won't have any trouble following my finger patterns. We talked about, in our first lesson, we talked about not to touch the pegs. I think you all remember that. And we also have these fine tuners at the end. This is our tailpiece. And on top of the tailpiece, we have these 4 fine tuners. Now, for a viola, you're going to be tuning only the A and the D strings. So these are the outermost 2 strings. A string and the D string, and for all the other instruments, these are the only 2 strings that you will be tuning. This is for beginner orchestra class. For the intermediate class, you will be tuning all 4 strings of your instrument. If you have a viola, then you will be tuning C, G, D, and A strings. If you have a violin, then you're going to be tuning your G, D, A, and E strings. Cello is exactly the same as the viola setting, C, G, D, and A. So I'm going to show you now how to tune the violin or the viola using the fine tuners on top of our tailpiece. And of course, please, parents, if you can help your children complete this task, because these little knobs are very, very small, and we want to really go very slow, tiny increments. And if you feel like any of these strings are very, very loose, then you may contact me. Maybe we can meet up and I can fix that for you. But in the meantime, now let's talk about the outermost strings for the viola, or the middle 2 strings. Violin students, this is for your middle 2 strings, D and A. Those are the ones that you'll be tuning if you are a beginner orchestra student. If you are an intermediate level orchestra student, then you will be tuning all of your strings. Now I'm going to start from the A string, and for whatever instrument you are playing, you will always start tuning your instrument from the A string. So in this case, A string is the outermost string on the viola. If you're playing the violin, start on the 2nd string right here. So I'm going to be playing an A, and you'll see on the screen the letter name A comes up, and if it's another letter name that comes up, which means the instrument may be very much out of tune. I'm going to on purpose make it a little bit out of tune for you, so that we can see how to tune the instrument. As you can see, we have an A flat coming on the screen. And so if you can see that red line going through the middle of the screen, that's where we are going to be lining up the letter name of the string that we are tuning, so that it's in the green zone and the red line is going through right in the middle of the letter name. So this means the tuning of the A string is very, very low. So I'm going to turn it clockwise to go higher. Looks like I have come closer. Now I'm going to turn it a little bit more clockwise still. Now I can see that it's on the green zone. Let's see how close I am. It's pretty close. So we want to make sure that we are lining up the letter name of the string that we're tuning with that red line that's going through the middle of the screen. That is pretty good. So now, after I finish tuning the A string, I'm going to be moving to the D string. Same thing, if you're playing the cello, this will be the second string. So this is your A string, this is your D string, same as the viola. If you're playing the violin, this will be your third string now. You're doing the D string. But now, on purpose again, I'm going to make this a little bit out of tune. So it looks like this is a little too sharp now. And you may wonder how we're going to understand which is too sharp, which is too flat. So the letter name, if the letter name of the string that you're trying to tune falls onto the right side of the screen, then it is too flat. If it falls onto the left side of the screen, that means that it's a little bit too sharp right now. As you can see, I'm trying to get to the D, and it is far to the left side of the screen, which means my tuning is a little bit too sharp. So to be able to bring it down, I'm going to go anti-clockwise to make it flatter. Let's look at it again. The D is on the left side of the red line. It's getting a little bit closer. I'm going still with little increments to get closer. And anti-clockwise. It looks like I went down too much. As you can see, the letter name now starts to appear towards the right side of the red line. So I might have went too low. So I'm going to go back clockwise a little bit. And ta-ta, it's now in the green zone, and the red line goes through the letter of the string that we're trying to tune perfectly. Now we have tuned the D string. Now after tuning the D string, beginner orchestra students are done. Like I said, you're only going to need to tune A and D strings. If you are intermediate orchestra student, you're going to just do the exact same things that we did on the G string. It looks like maybe a little bit more. And if you're playing the violin, G would be your last string on the lower side. After doing the G string, violinists, you're going to go to the outermost string. This will be your E string, and you're going to tune E. If you're playing the viola or the cello, you have one more string to go, which is the C string, your thickest string. Let's make this a little bit out of tune on purpose again. Looks like I'm seeing B around the red line. And let's try to see where the C string name is falling. Is on the right side of the screen or the left side of the screen. So I'm seeing the C appearing on the right side of the red line, which means our string is very, very low. The tuning is very flat. So to make it go higher up, we're going to go clockwise. We're going to use the fine tuner that's right underneath the string. We're gonna turn it clockwise, and it will start moving it closer to the red line. And maybe a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more maybe. And when you see that the red line is crossing the letter name of the string that you're trying to tune right in the middle and you're in the green zone, that means you have tuned your instrument successfully. Okay, now we're going to move on to the fundamentals in the next video.